So my name is Zeke Marcus, and I'm going to narrate the story of when I got stranded. So this past summer, where I live, you have to go like about an hour out of town to get like to the best orthodontist. So, and I had braces. So me and my friend, we were going together, and as we were going, it was weird. Like she had been having car trouble for the past couple of weeks, but we were like, let's just do it. So we went up there. And it was okay. Everything was good. Filled up gas. Everything was perfect. And then as we were coming back, it started smelling weird. But we were like, there's cars passing us. We're just gonna hope it's them. And then, so as all these cars were passing us, and it started smelling weird. Well, started to be no cars. And we were like, it still smells weird. And then all of a sudden, all kinds of lights are just starting to flash, and the speedometer is going from like the top to 0. The gas meter is going like just from E to F like constantly, and then it's just fluttering like crazy. So I'm like, okay, well, let's pull over, because I was not driving. So I was like, pull over. And so we pull over. I'm like, pop the hood. She pops the hood, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like just starts smoking. Like it's like it literally looked like one of those movie scenes where like all kinds of black smoke just like was on my face. So I was like, all right, we'll turn off the car, because I don't know what the heck's going on. So, and I'm trying to see, and I can't tell what's going on. And so as I'm looking, I'm like, oh shoot. So there's this little piece like right next to her tire where the engine belt was, because she was in a Volkswagen, so like it's just a different type of build, and since it's so new, like all cars are getting way too difficult to like manage. So I'm like, all right, we'll turn on the car, and literally, the car I thought was exploding, because this conveyor belt was like flying like all over. So I'm like, I was freaking out. So what I had to do, I was like, all right, we'll turn off the car. I was like, is there tools in the back of your car? And she was like, probably. So I look in the back, sure enough, there is. And somehow, some way, there was an extra engine belt. So I was like, oh, well, this must have happened before. So I was like, all right, well, I was like, but she didn't know, so I was like, all right, well, we're gonna figure this out, because I had already done stuff like this before. So I get on the side, and I'm like, oh man, because it's in this little cranny that's like you can't get in between through the hood, so you had to go through the side. So I have to jack up the car. I'm taking off the tire, and I'm like, oh, and then I have to take off the side panel. So much extra work that like I was not used to, and so I'm doing it, and I'm putting back on the belt. And like, of course, I have to watch a YouTube video, because I had never like did it in a Volkswagen, so like so convenient. And I'm lacing back this belt, and I finally got it like after like 10 tries. And then I have to put back on the tire, unjack the car, put back on the panel, and I'm like, all right, we'll turn on the car. And so she turns it on, and it runs perfect. And I'm like, oh yes, I felt so accomplished. I was so proud of myself. But what had happened was all the coolant had started leaking too, so like the air conditioner wasn't working. So I was like, oh man, because the car was just like trying to cool down way too fast, because it just got super hot. Everything got really, really hot, so it was like burning. And so we put the coolant back in the car too, and then we looked. It started like the buttons were going crazy still. We pressed reset on like all the speedometer stuff, and it was all good. And we're driving home. Granted, we were like 40 miles away from home. And I was like, oh. So I didn't want to call anybody, and I was like, don't tell anybody that this happened. Even though we were like, from our 2-hour trip, we made it like in 4. So like we added an extra 2 hours. So that was like not a cool thing, but it was fine, because we got home, and I was like, oh. So I got home, and I sure enough had to explain what happened. But I was like, but I did it myself, so that was pretty cool. So in conclusion, it was just really cool, because I felt really accomplished with myself, because I had never done stuff like that before, like by myself. Like I'd always had someone watch me. So we got home safely. We didn't blow up or anything again, and it was cool. So yeah, that's my story. Thank you.
Thank you.